Teresa, I think about this kind of thing a lot. Women not stepping into their power, not owning their brilliance, their power. We don't know, is it just imposter syndrome? Is it just lack of confidence? Is it just socialization? Or is it the whole gamut of things? So yesterday I was working with a client of mine, a woman I consider extremely well accomplished. And we were doing some voice work, and we were doing some elocution, clear speech. And English is about her fourth language, but she's very, very fluent and she speaks very well. But I noticed in the elocution exercises, which are so important for speaking, that she was not articulating a lot of words to the end of the word. So if the word ended in S, I couldn't hear the S. If the word ended in a K sound, I couldn't hear it. She was dropping it. And we had already discussed when she did the exercises, the vocal exercises, what a magnificent voice. But when she spoke, it was hard to reconcile that this is the same woman. The speaking voice so soft and withdrawn and held back, and the voice exercises so powerful. And then, as I said, we broke down into the clear speech. And I realized she's not fully articulating words. And she had a difficult time articulating them because it had become a habit to kind of die off at the end of the words, especially the end of the words at the end of the sentence. And she's come to me because the people she works with think that she's a weak communicator. And she's not, because I know her outside of the classes. And I said, okay, stop right there. This is why your people at work are not really believing you. Two things that we've touched on already. The voice over here in the exercises is magnificent and powerful and deep and resonant. And over here, it's so soft. And now in the elocution, you're not articulating as if you don't really have the confidence in what you are saying. So this was like two really big things that she noticed. Then, okay, we're going on, and now we get into, I'm working with her in authentic leadership. So I asked her a very simple question. How do you articulate your purpose and the meaning of your life? Now, remember, this is a very accomplished woman, has worked around the world, speaks many languages, is beautiful. If you looked at her, you'd think she's got it all going and then some. Her eyes filled with tears. And she started to cry and she said, I don't know. I said, what do you mean you don't know? She said, I don't know. I said, I see you as a very accomplished woman. There's a gap here, a great big gap between what I'm seeing from the outside looking in and what you're seeing from the inside looking out. When put to the test, has no self-belief. Something inside of her, and as we went on in the discussion, she began to compare herself to other women, which, as you and I have talked about this so many times, this thing of comparing ourselves to others is deadly. But it was just, I thought, how many times do I come across these women who I see as being so capable, who burst into tears when you ask them to articulate their own greatness?
But Patty, and you made me cry too the first time we worked together, and it all is the little uncovering those little blockages, those little things we've been holding on to as accomplished women, and not believing in what we're saying. We haven't owned our voice. We haven't owned our opinions because we've always been pushed back. Even though we may have reached a certain pinnacle within our corporate world or whatever position we're in, entrepreneurship, etc., there is still something that holds us back when we are asked to express an opinion and to give something personal as well. Because, when we start to articulate our authentic leadership style, that's really personal. And if you aren't 100% bought in to it, because you still are in that imposter syndrome area, it's difficult for you to actually do that exercise until you get rid of the blocks.
But it's important because we
And-
can't rise to the top of our game. You know, we talk in our work how the great poet Wadsworth Longfellow said that the voice is the instrument of the human soul. Until we find the courage and the bravery to go there, we will never be authentic. And you know, we've talked about it. We see people faking authenticity, which is almost an oxymoron. But if you don't dig deep, and it's not as scary as it seems, but until they take that leap, they will never be able to step into their power. And that's what this is. This is a master class for women in how to step into their authentic selves, not their fake authentic, get into their heart and soul.
And you know, everybody that I have worked with, I always ask them, you know, this question: what was the hardest thing you went through when you worked with me? And normally they will say, I had to go deeper than I ever thought I would.
Yeah.
And because I dug deep, that's when I was able to progress and get out of the area I was in and move forward to the area I wanted to be. Yeah. And, you know, that's what we're all about, helping people take those steps. It's, you know, we want them to stand out. So if they can uncover their authentic self, actually believe in who they are, then they can start speaking up. Then they'll start standing out, and the transformation of their voice will be amazing. See us, come and witness some of the tools that we have to give you in order for you to take that next step forward instead of falling back on old habits. Patty works with us on our voice, and I work with us on our stepping into the power. And together, this collaboration absolutely builds us up and helps us hold on to each other. And like Patty said, we got your back. So,
and your Star Plus segment of the class, which really helps us get clear on our story, the situation and everything that went on. But what I love the most about Star Plus is it gives the storyteller that moment in their actions to own their own greatness. If you haven't listened to Les Brown, you really should Google him, find him on YouTube. He starts almost every speech by saying, you've got greatness in you. We all have greatness in us. And I really think that it's our job to uncover that greatness, to become who we were born to be, to not die with the music still in us.
And that's interesting, you know, because we are consciously working with women because we know women feel held back or pushed down or whatever, but and we know it's all on the socialization of women through the years, the way they've been raised, etc. But it's also for men as well, because they've been raised to be the breadwinner, go out there, earn the money, make sure everything is taken care of, don't leave anything to chance, invest. So this is applicable to so many different people. And, you know, with the Speak Up, Stand Out, Transform Your Voice, we really know that regardless of whether you're an accomplished woman already set in your place in this corporate world, or you're an entrepreneur looking to keep building and growing yourself, or employment, you're in employment and you're looking for promotion, this masterclass will help you now, immediately. And that's what we want to do. We want to help you now.
You know, Bob Proctor taught me well when I studied with him, and he said, if you're going to charge $50, you got to give at least $150 in value. And that's always been my business model. So we are charging, but it's going to be worthwhile. We're not going to sell you a whole bunch of products or anything. We're just going to sit with you and help you uncover. You don't need to find your voice. You have your voice. It's always been there, but it might be covered up by fear, by criticism from the past, by all kinds of things, because everybody needs it. We start with women because it's women first of all, our voices that need to be heard. And secondly, because women will educate their children to speak up, so that it's our goal to all of you beautiful women listening. We want to hear from you. The world needs to hear from you. We have tools. Teresa and I, we go on about this all the time. So if you've been following us, you're probably, oh God, here she goes again. We do not empower you. We give you tools to empower yourself, because empowerment must be authentic and it must come from within. It cannot come from without. So we want you to wake up the next day and go to work or make your dream or whatever and say, I'm going to try this. And also, you know, we can't forget how many young moms are there at home raising kids. The kids are about ready to start school and they think, could I ever really do it? Oh, you can do it. Teresa Dukes and I were just like that. And we did it. And so, yes, we talk a lot about women in leadership and women in executive women, women in business, women entrepreneurs. But if you have a dream and you have no idea how to get that dream going, these workshops will help you. Because no matter where in the society you are, it's about speaking up. And even the most accomplished have difficulties with. It's about speaking up, standing out, transforming your voice. Teresa Dukes and I offer you a masterclass that will show you how to step into your power, into your greatness.